And our top focus this hour ahead of a landmark summit in Alaska between the United States and Russia. Pressure has only been mounting as Donald Trump warned that Vladimir Putin has only one chance, that is to agree to abandon his invasion of Ukraine. With such high stakes, all sides are pushing hard in the hours before the meeting actually happens. President Trump himself has sent mixed messages, saying that he could quickly organize a three-way summit afterward with both Zelensky and Putin, but also warned of his impatience with Putin.
If the first one goes okay, we'll have a quick second one. I would like to do it almost immediately, and we'll have a quick second meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky and myself if they'd like to have me there. And that would be a meeting where maybe it could be absolutely work. But the first meeting will not work that out. Certain great things can be gained in the first. It's going to be a very important meeting, but it's setting the table for the second meeting.
According to a Telegraph report, Trump is set to meet Putin in Alaska armed with potential economic incentives, that is to expedite a ceasefire agreement in Ukraine. Among the proposals under discussion is whether there is a possibility of allowing Russia to access rare earth mineral resources in Ukrainian territories it currently occupies. Ukraine is estimated to possess approximately 10% of global lithium reserves, which is a strategic component in battery manufacturing. Notably, two of the country's most significant lithium sites are situated within regions currently held by Russian forces. The report also mentions that the US president is also mulling to grant Russia access to natural resources located in the region bordering the Bering Strait. The narrow waterway separating Russia and the United States, Alaska, which lies just 3 miles from the Russian territory across the Bering Strait, is believed to contain substantial undiscovered reserves of oil and gas, potentially comprising up to 13% of global oil supply. Other offers reportedly may include lifting export bans on aircraft parts and equipment that is needed to maintain Russia's aging fleet, Western sanctions imposed after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022 that have significantly limited its access to these components, thereby compelling Russian operators to find replacement parts, often taking them from old, unused planes just to keep others flying. Trump's most credible leverage in peace negotiations may also involve escalating sanctions. These include stricter enforcement against Russia's so-called dark fleet of oil tankers that circumvent existing price caps, as well as broader tariffs or even sanctions on nations continuing to import Russian fossil fuels. However, the US president has so far shown limited willingness to pursue such extreme measures. As a result, many fear Putin may see little reason to offer significant concessions during Friday's summit in Alaska, especially if he thinks the war is going his way. And if Trump brings weak pressure to the table, the conflict could even drag on longer. And joining us live on the broadcast is Michael Walterson. He's a military and political analyst, as he's also been former officer of the Swedish Army. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Walterson, in bullet points, first up, if you could encapsulate what can be realistic takeaways or the outcome of the high-stakes summit that everyone is eagerly anticipating.
Well, Trump has tried to diminish expectations and said that it's he tries to feel what the Russian side have as minimum demands to agree to a peace and ceasefire. But we know in 2018 Trump and Putin met in Helsinki in Finland, and they had a very good meeting. And after that, they Trump agreed to many things that people didn't think beforehand. So it's an open question. It can be nothing that happens. It can be very much on both sides. both to agree with Russia or to disagree.
Yes,
And if you
also,
want me to,
yes.
yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
in continuation to that same point, yes, Russia also says that its position in 2024 on ending war in Ukraine remains unchanged, which essentially means that Ukrainian troops withdrawing from the parts of Donetsk, Zaporizhia and even Kherson. Do you think that is even possible in the summit?
Well, Ukraine will not agree to that, and I don't think that the US will agree to it either. But if an example would be that if Ukraine would withdraw from the Donetsk region and you froze the front lines everywhere else, then it would be acceptable to the US, I believe. But it would still not be acceptable to Ukraine. And it's a great game. Putin wants to put the blame on Zelensky, and Zelensky wants to get on the good side of Trump.
Yes, and Mr. Walton, adding to that, Zelensky has of course already made it clear that the country will not cede an inch of its territory. But in your view, if Donald Trump offers access to rare earth minerals to Russia, do you think that is good enough to incentivize Putin to end the war in Ukraine?
Well, not if the terms were that Russia would retreat. I don't think it would be enough to get a peace now either, because in the Ukrainian constitution, the whole of Ukraine is undividable. But in the Russian constitution, it's the same, and they have annexed Zaporizhia, Kherson, and Donetsk, Luhansk. So they can't leave it, but it could become a ceasefire so that the front line were frozen. At least they could start discussions about a ceasefire. I believe that Russia would like to continue its rather successful offensive for at least a week more.
Yes, Mr. Walterson, point taken. And of course, as many would agree, this is one of the biggest tests that Trump faces in his second term as a US president. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast.
You're welcome.